When I first heard of Dying Light, I originally brushed it off as just another horror survival game, a genre that has not treated me too kindly over the years. I'm not talking about the quality of the games, it really just comes down to the fact that these games seem to immerse me the most, and then scare me while doing so. After seeing Dying Light gameplay videos on YouTube, I knew that I wanted to play this game on my PlayStation 4. So what did Techland, the creators behind Dead Island, come up with this time?
Now it's time for you to give me what you promised. 2 crates of Anderson.
I think not. Your loyalty to the tower is nothing but blind obedience, Crane. A coward's submission to false hierarchies. You follow their rules as thoughtlessly as you follow mine, like a good little...
The story of Dying Light takes place in the city of Haran, a fictional city based off Turkey. With rundown buildings, rubble, scattered debris, burning automobiles, and blood-soaked streets ridden with flesh-eating zombies, the work is all cut out for the protagonist Kyle Crane.
Crane? Crane rhymes with train, and brain, and sane, and grain, and rain, and plane, and the other kind of plane, and...
The story is seen through the eyes of Crane, an operative who is sent in to find Kadir Rais Suleiman, a rogue agent who possesses a file that could jeopardize the perceived integrity of the agency. Crane starts the mission off on the wrong foot by getting his parachute caught on a building and being discovered and beaten by enemies. During that time, he gets bitten by a zombie and is saved by a group of survivors. But Crane is infected and has to take medicine in order to prevent himself from turning. While Crane wants to help these people, he soon realizes that the agency will stop at nothing to keep the file from getting out, even if it means sacrificing the lives of others and forcing Crane to make decisions that are clearly against his morals. While the story isn't earth-shattering, it is still really interesting, and I found myself wanting to find out what would happen next. The side missions also have some really interesting and surprisingly deep storylines to them, which gives the game a life outside the main objective, making the game world feel more organic and not artificially crammed with random missions. It made seeing the exclamation points on the minimap exciting because the side stories are told so well.
Damn it, nothing here.
Dying Light is a rare example of a horror survival game where the primary focus is on gameplay rather than the atmosphere. This was one thing that really drew me to this game. Now, in other reviews, I prefer to separate the gameplay and controls into different categories. That would be extremely difficult in this case because the game is based on its controls. In many horror survival games, the controls are extremely limited and clunky, but in this game you pretty much have free reign over how fast or slow you move. This game contains parkour similar to Mirror's Edge, meaning that you are pretty much running, jumping, sliding, drop-kicking, climbing, and landing during the entire game. In order for this to work, the controls need to be perfect, or at least close to perfect. Techland delivered. I cannot say that I have ever played a game on a console that has played this fluently in terms of the gameplay mechanics and controls. I feel like everything is natural and it works exactly as it should. The controls alone make the game worth playing, because it just feels right. Now, branching into the gameplay, the game is simply a blast. Pretty much everything that looks climbable is, so climbing up buildings and leaping off them to another one is a great experience. Running through streets, hurdling obstructions, sliding under walls, and drop-kicking a zombie at full speed make even the journey to the objective fun and exciting. Combat in the beginning of the game feels a little clunky because the zombies are very tough to kill and the weapons you start off with are pretty weak, but the game changes up a lot later on. There is a skill tree system along with a crafting system that both give the player more abilities and more toys to play around with, and it really helps them become stronger. Eventually the player will be able to craft elemental throwing stars and supercharged up weapons that shred through zombies. One thing you will notice about Dying Light is how the game is constantly changing. It goes from open world parkour playground to little threat if you're careful, to a hardcore adrenaline-pumping horror survival game when the sun sets, to an action game with satisfying executions and gory dismantling of zombies. Usually when games try to do too much, they spread themselves way too thin, but Dying Light doesn't suffer from this. It somehow manages to excel and do multiple things very well. That isn't an easy thing to do, and it makes this game truly unique. If all of that isn't enough, you can also take the game online for 4-player co-op with your friends, and if you pre-order the game, you can play as a zombie and invade other games at night. There is so much to offer in the gameplay department that I can see myself playing this game for a very long time.
Oh shit. They must have heard me.
When it comes to the visuals, Dying Light sets itself apart from the rest of the pack. Horror survival usually means dim environments with dull textures and a dark color palette. Dying Light takes a different approach. The game looks beautiful. It is arguably one of the best looking games on the PlayStation 4. The lighting, the shadows, and the trees blowing in the wind all create this diversified world that is foreign to the genre. It makes the game feel fresh and lifelike. When the sun goes down and the nightmares come out, the atmosphere transforms into something similar to a traditional horror survival game, and it is immersive and terrifying. I have to commend Techland for taking this approach because I feel like Dying Light has the potential to open doors for gamers to get into the horror survival genre, while also giving the existing fans something unique and fun to play and enjoy. Overall, Dying Light is a fantastic game. While the story isn't amazing, it is more than adequate and it keeps you interested. Ultimately, it does its job. But the game shines because of its gameplay, and that is really the heart and soul of this game. It is polished, complete, and it's a blast to play. As it stands right now, Dying Light is currently my favorite game on the PlayStation 4. I highly recommend this game even if horror survival scares you as badly as it does for me. This is a great game, and if you're looking for something to play, look no further. You won't be disappointed with this one. This is Kalman from GaminRealm.com, and I give Dying Light a 9.0 for fantastic graphics, amazing controls, and extremely fun gameplay. For more reviews, make sure you keep it locked here on GaminRealm.com. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at GaminRealm, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any video review. And until next time, thank you for watching, and have a good day.
And if Mama ain't happy, nobody happy.
GaminRealm.